Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Praise and gratitude be praised to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So that on this occasion we can gather in the Thesis trial, English Education Study Program, Faculty Language Education, IKIP Siliwangi 2022. Let me introduce myself. My name is Intan Lasmana from before 2018 evening class. On this occasion, I will present my thesis. But before that, I would like to say thank you to Miss Intan Satriani MPD as a first supervisor and Mr. Haidir Sahri as a second supervisor. The title of my thesis is Developing Narrative Text Reading Material Through Discovery Learning, assisted by Comic Digital for First Grade Senior High School. I divided my presentation into 5 parts. The first one is background of the research, the second one is objective of the research methodology, result and discussion, and the last one is conclusion. So, let's take a look on the first screen. English is international language. English is foreign language. In Indonesia, English is a second language, not a mother tongue language. In Indonesia, English still rarely used. English is a required subject in a school. This condition requires the teacher to create an environment that helps students learn the language better. To make the learning process more meaningful, it is important for teacher and student work together. Reading is the one of the skill in mastering language. According to Whitson, in Gilakjani 2019, explained that reading is the process of creating meaning that involve the reader's knowledge, the text, and the context. According to OECD PISA, the level of interest in reading among students in Indonesia is ranked 74 or 6 from the bottom of 18 countries. Teaching material are media used to support learning. The tendency to read in the teenager is more likely to use cell phone or social media or things that they find interesting. It is expected can facilitate and develop student reading learning outcomes in the teaching learning process in narrative text. In this research, the researchers is interested in develop student worksheet using Comic Digital. Okay, next, objective of the research. I have 4 objectives in this research. The first one is to describe the process of developing narrative text, and the second one is to know visibility of teaching materials in narrative text, and the second is to find the response student and teacher, and the last one is to describe the obstacles in developing narrative text using Comic Digital. Okay, now let's take a look in the research methodology. In this research, I use research and development using AD method, was adapted from Creswell 2012. AD method have 5 stages. The first one is analysis, design, development, implementation, and the last one is evaluation. This research use mixed method, qualitative and quantitative. Document analysis, questionnaire, and interview were involved to get qualitative and quantitative data. The subject of this research were 71 of students senior high school in Cimahi. Now we move to the important part, result. I divided my result into 4 parts. The first one is process. To develop the product or worksheet, we should know what students need. In this section, the analysis consists into 3 parts according to Bastruckman 2010. The first one is necessities, lacks, and want. In necessities, get 75%, or it means good or balanced category. In the lacks categories are good enough to use, but there are something to be developed. For the first is the first point, and categorize question or activities in the worksheet. Very interesting, get 77%. And the less categorized, won't categorize. The student wants to develop the worksheet with the color with the percentage of 15.8%, and layout with the percentage in 57%. which means that not enough to use and should to develop. The second analysis is analysis curriculum. The researchers used curriculum 2013. Next, the result is design. The design consists three categories. The first one is framework of work. Framework worksheet means the preparation of the opening such as introduction, basic competencies, core competencies, and class. Then the second one is systemic determination and material design. Based on discovery learning, they have 5 steps, and the last one is instrument design. The third result is development. In the development, is divided into two parts. The first one is worksheet creation and validation. The worksheet creation, the worksheet designed using by the IBIS Paint X and Canva. This validation was validated by media and material experts. Next, the result is implementation. The implementation is divided into two sections. The first one is preliminary study with the 30 students and main field testing with the 71 students. The researchers distribute the questionnaire into the form of questionnaire consisting statement. In the statement, they have 4 aspects. The first one is aspect form and appearance, aspect of integration and emphasis, balance, and content aspect. The aspect form and appearance in primary study get percentage of 16% or in category poor. In the main field testing, the researcher used to develop what the last aspect than before. In the main field testing, all aspects in category good. Aspect form and appearance in main field testing is 18.1%. Aspect of interrogation and emphasis in 85%. Balance aspect is 18.2%. Content aspect is 18.4%. It means category good or feasible to use. The comparison of the result primary study and main field testing, the researchers got a very significant change. The last one is evaluation. In this step, the researchers get several evaluation. For the example, is the revision is carried out on the basis of the first trial by analyzing the data obtained so that it can be seen what aspect must to be developed. Now let's take a look in the feasibility result. In this research, the feasibility get the point of 18.4% with the category good or feasible to use. Now we move to another important part, the result of student and teacher response. Result of teacher response. The teacher response in this research gets 18.8% or in the categories very good, with the mean 3.45. Now let's take a look in the table student response. Students who want to learn narrative text are 58 out of 71 students, with the percentage of 95% respond positive. And the worksheet learning easier with the 100%. The color and the picture very interesting with the percentage 97%. And the last one is the font size, but in the font size get the percentage of 40% are less able to read. The last of the result is obstacles. The obstacles, the researchers get 2 part. The first one is design. The design of this product is very hard, and the second is time management, have a long time to make this product. Finally, we are in the conclusion. The conclusion of this research is developing of narrative text, reading material. In the terms of design, materials and language are unique, clearer, detailed, and easy to understand. The feasibility of this research is quite valid with the average 3.6, and the percentage of 18.4% with the feasibility use. The responses of student and teacher are very interesting, but the drawback of this product is font of the comic is too small. In developing worksheet, it is necessary to consider in terms design and time management. I think that's all for my explanation about my thesis. Thank you for participation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.